here we are. Here we are, Gypsy Rose. Tribble. I think we're organized now. I've tried to make this video 3 or 4 times and my impatience gets the better of me and I forget something. So we're organized now. We had a request on grooming tools. And as I tell everybody, I am really not that great of a groomer, but this is what I do, what I use. So we'll start here at the left. This is an undercoat rake. It's got nice long tongs on it. And it's not too big. This is the mini. This is the Miller Forge Mini undercoat rake. It comes and goes on the internet. They were available on Amazon. Sometimes they're available and sometimes they're not. But I love these tools. So my first love was the mini coat undercoat rake. This little tool is a slicker brush. As you can tell, it doesn't get too deep. And I like this little one. It's called for Lil, L-I-L, Pals. And it can be found on Amazon. It's very tiny. It's made for kittens and puppies. It's not going to be very good for detangling and stuff like that, but it does have its purposes. That right. And I like this one because it's got the little plastic nubs on the end. I don't know if the ones without the nubs on the end hurt the cats or not, but I end up puncturing myself with them, so I never liked slicker brushes until I found this little one. Actually, someone else found it and turned me on to this little slicker brush. This is a wonderful comb. I just got this comb and it's purple. Had to have one because they come in different colors. This is a Greyhound, and I think that is the brand name, Greyhound comb. They're a little bit expensive, but they're very nice. They've got the wide tines on one end and they've got the finer tines on the other. I find that I use the wide tines the most, and they're long, so they get into the deep fur for the long-furred kitties. My second favorite is the Butter Comb, also a brand name called Butter Comb, and it comes in different tine spacings. This is the most coarse, and I'd say it's probably just as good as the Greyhound, but I couldn't find it in purple. So there you have it. This is a flea comb. I don't have any fleas, or I have not seen any fleas in a long time, but this is good for the little short hair on the top of their heads. It's also good for kittens. So these are the combs and brushes that I use on a regular basis. And we move over to our scissors, and I've got a sharp end. These, notice how pointy. This is a very sharp point here. These are surgical scissors, which I found online, but cuticle scissors will work, or mustache scissors, anything with a really sharp point, because you get into the knot, making sure that you have your finger between the point and the cat. Everybody thinks it's time for food. It's not time for food. No, it's not. Not yet. Anyway, this breaks up, you can snip out the knots if you're very careful. You have to be very careful. Make sure you're parallel to the skin and that your finger's always between the point and the cat. And you don't want to do any normal trimming with this pointy end, because, as you know, cats don't sit still. For trimming, like for their manes and their butts and maybe the bottoms of their feet or whatever you want to trim, you would like a good pair of little snub nose scissors. It pays to, or it's worthwhile, I should say, to get good quality equipment if you do have a long-haired cat. Nothing is worse than trying to do some of this stuff with a dull pair of scissors. I've been there. In fact, that's how I started out with the thinning shears. I bought a pair of just thinning shears at Petco, I guess, and they were not that great, and I just thought they were a useless tool. And then I saw someone on YouTube demonstrating them for getting out knots, and I thought, well, I'm going to try that again. So I got a good pair, a sharp pair of thinning shears, and I really do like them. You can give a cat an all-over bear cut with these thinning shears if you're patient enough, but it is good to get out some of those mats and knots. You snip into the knotted area, and then it will probably just fall out, or you can brush it out more easily. This is a nifty little trick that I learned from one of my kitten buyers. This is just a letter opener, and if you have a knot that has enough room underneath it between the skin and the knot where you can get this little point under there, you can just slide it up against the blade and it will cut the knot out. I don't use that too much. Most of the knots that I'm working with are like right at the skin, so it doesn't work very well for that. Then you have the tool for clipping the claws. There are different kinds. This is the only kind I have, so I can't show you the other kind. The other kind's called a guillotine style. Now, this is a cup of just water. This is tap water, and I use it for static electricity by dipping the cones in. Dip the cone in, comb the cat, or brush or whatever. And that helps with the static electricity. And that's also what the baby wipes are for. They stay wet longer, and when it gets too dry you can just pull out another one. So that's what the baby wipes are for. These are just makeup pads. This is for the eye upkeep. This is like a little, I don't know what this was originally, maybe a little lipstick tub or whatever. It's got boric acid powder in here, which I use on the white kitty's eyes. Where the staining is, you just work it into the fur really good. Moisten the tip of your finger and work it in there. I bought this on Amazon because I wanted something that I could do with just one hand. Makeup pad, and you've got I've got a saline solution in here, and you can dampen. It squirts water everywhere. But anyway, you can dampen it while holding the cat in one hand, and you've got your makeup pad ready to wipe their eyes down with. And we got water all over the floor. So that's the sum total of my grooming situation. That's a long video too.